welcome to my channel for all things fitness and gaming. My name is Brisket. Today we are going to be doing a beginner's guide to Apex Legends on PC with keyboard and mouse. So if you used to be on console and played other games and you're just switching to keyboard and mouse and you want to get into Apex Legends, or you've never played games before at all and you just got a PC and you want to give this game a shot, this is the guide for you. So we're going to go down into like the basics. We're going to give you a pretty detailed breakdown of the game. That way you can feel more comfortable getting into it. I know this game can be a little intimidating, especially if you're new to the keyboard and mouse interface. You can download the game either on Origin or Steam. I have my game on Origin just because I had to use that. I have used Origin for Sims. So I used Origin for other games, so I just happened to get it through Origin. But a lot of people prefer Steam, you know, whatever works. It's crossplay like through the Steam and Origin, if that makes sense. So if you have friends on Origin, you can add them if you are on Steam, and vice versa. It doesn't really matter. It's cross-platform through console. So getting into the game here, we are going to start off just going to the firing range. This is what I would recommend any new player to do. When you first purchase the game, you're only going to have the first 5 legends available to you. Yeah, all the other ones you're going to need to unlock. So it's up to you if you want to try and just pay for it and unlock all the legends off the bat. You'll earn legend tokens as you play the game, so you can kind of unlock the legends as you go. Going into the firing range for your first time, I would recommend playing Bloodhound. They're a great character. They're there it is. Their skills are pretty simple to understand. They are a recon character. So each character is going to have a passive, a tactical, which is automatically bound to Q, and an ultimate, which is also automatically bound to Z on the keyboard. So for Bloodhound, the passive is that you will actually see like footprints of enemies left behind from where they were, so you can kind of gauge like, oh, these people were just here like 15 seconds ago, like you know that they're still in the area. Or if it's been like like 70 seconds, or like, oh, they ran through here, but you can track them, you can follow them. And then for the Q, it's Eye of the Allfather, so it will reveal enemies in the area and traps and clues through all like structures and buildings. So if there's a team camping in a building in front of you, this will highlight them. That way you can confirm how many people there are there and if there were any there in the first place. And then for their ultimate, Beast of the Hunt, you transform into the ultimate hunter. You move faster. Enemies are highlighted red on the screen. And and then all the tracks, you see cold tracks and move faster. So so I highly recommend playing them when you go into the firing range. So let's go ahead and just get in there, and I can talk to you guys about like key bindings, mouse bindings, and mouse sensitivity with you, and then we'll talk about the rest of the legends later. We're gonna ready up. Now, as a reminder, this is not the best. It's what I like, and it's what I recommend. So take everything with a grain of salt. Obviously, not everything works the same for everyone. Do what feels right for you. But I'll just give you some tips that I have learned over the years of playing Apex. So this is where you spawn in the firing range. To move forward, you're gonna hit W with your middle finger, so that's how you're gonna rest your hand on the keyboard. Let me show you. So you're gonna want to rest your hand on the keyboard, so your pinky is on the shift key. Your pointer finger can interchange between W and S. So W is move forward, S is move backwards. Your pointer finger on D to move right, and then your ring finger on A to move left, and then your move left, and then your thumb on the space bar for jump. I'll go ahead and show you guys. So we're gonna move forward, we'll move backwards, we'll move right, we'll move left, and then shift is for sprint. So you should be able to just tap that. and continue to sprint. Jump. So now that I kind of showed you the basics of the keyboard, you're gonna have to play around with it for a little while to get, really used to the movement. Obviously, it's a lot different than joysticks. Okay, so you're gonna hit escape on your keyboard to access the settings. And first things first, it should be default off for auto sprint already, but I do recommend keeping that off because there might be instances where you don't always want to sprint. There is a lot of sprinting in this game, but as long as you have the double tap sprint off and the auto sprint off. Look here. I think that's about it for the sprint. When you tap shift and when you're moving, you'll automatically continue running. Like, you don't need to hold down shift, you just tap it. So I don't necessarily like always having sprint on. My preference. So when it comes to your mouse sensitivity, lower is better. Lower will always be better. You do not want to, what is it, at 1.4? You do not want to be barely moving your mouse and you can just like completely spin around in a circle. Like, this is insane. You can't, there's just not good accuracy with that. So I have my mouse settings at 1.4. This is what is comfortable for me. My DPI is set to 800 as a reference for my mouse. My ADS mouse sensitivity multiplier for when you aim down sight when shooting is 0.8. So let me go ahead and show you the range of motion that I have for my mouse. So I have a lot of room here to work with. And as you can see on the screen, for me to move completely around in a circle, I need to pick my mouse up. And I recommend that. That is what you want. That way you can be as accurate as possible when you are hip firing, trying to fire on a moving target, also just ADSing as well. As you can see here, that is even slower when you aim down sight. On the other hand though, obviously you don't want it too slow to where you can't keep up with a player's movement. This is what is comfortable for me. This is what works great for me. I feel as if I'm able to keep up with the players without over tracking them is what it's called. So if your sensitivity is too high, there'll be like a player running and you are constantly like overshooting trying to track them because the sensitivity is just too high. You can't control it well. Alrighty, so mouse acceleration off, mouse invert off. Let's go into some key bindings here. So like we mentioned, or like I talked about earlier, moving forward is W, moving back is S, move left is A, move right is D, sprint, sorry, not sprint is left shift, like you just tap it. You don't have to hold it down, you just tap it. Jump is spacebar. So crouch is originally already bound to C, which is fine. But if you have a gaming mouse and you got at least 2 buttons on it, then I would highly recommend binding hold crouch to one of your buttons. And if you don't have a gaming mouse, I highly recommend getting one that has at least 2 side buttons on it. It will make playing Apex and any other FPS, honestly, any game on the computer, so much easier and so much more fluid. It is so convenient to be running and without having to, use your thumb, off the space bar to hit C. Rather, you just use the thumb on your mouse to slide and crouch. It is so convenient. That way your thumb can stay, as just the space bar job. Like, That's all it does. You don't have to worry about it hitting C or using your pointer finger, I guess, you know, taking it off D to crouch. That way you can crouch and move left to right. And you want it to be hold. You don't want to have to crouch and then crouch out. That's just another thing for you have to do. So when it's on your mouse button, you just hold it and then you let go. It's so much more fluid, so much easier. All right, now that I addressed crouching, and then I guess if you don't have a mouse with 2 buttons on it at least, you could always bind it to control instead on your keyboard. That way your pinky is the finger that will go down and hit control. And then that way your fingers are still available to move left, right, up, and down. And to jump if you needed when you come out of the crouch. So I would recommend binding it to control, the hold crouch to control, and just keep the toggle on C for whatever reason that you would need to use C. I've never hit C in my life playing this game. You will not need it. So, okay, now that I talked about crouch, put it on your mouse or put it on control. That is my recommendation. Okay, so as I kind of briefly talked about Bloodhound's abilities earlier, every legend has a tactical ability, which is already bound to Q, ultimate ability Z, interaction / pickup, like if you find weapons on the floor or you need to open a loot bin or interact with anything, that will always be E. It's already bound to E. So, you know, whatever feels good to you. I personally love the interaction on E. It's convenient, you know, your pointer finger is just right there. And then you can pop it right back on to, you know, strafing right. I think it's super convenient. Now, some people like interaction with F. You could do that as well. The only issue is that I'm pretty sure melee is automatically bound to F, so you would have to change that, and then put your melee somewhere else.
Might be something good this way.
Which is fine. And then maybe swap them, or yeah. But I think E as interact or pick up weapons is the best option, and just to keep your melee as F. As well as, you know, the Q tactical ability and the Z ultimate ability. I haven't changed those. I haven't felt the need to change them. I've kept them as they are. Some people like them on their mouse. Like if you have more buttons on your mouse, that's completely understandable. Have your tactical on your mouse. That's super cool. Fortunately, I only have 2 buttons, and I chose crouch, hold crouch, and grenade to be on my mouse. That's what I prefer. So the tactical ability for Bloodhound is a like radar scanner. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit Q here. And you see how they scan the area and all the enemies light up. So it lets me know, hey, there's 2 enemies right here in this area. And then, you know, if I'm alone or my duo's like super hurt or my teammates are hurt, then we kind of know like, okay, maybe we should heal and back up a little bit and before we go in. Or, you know, if it's 3 of us and there's 2 people, we're like, all right, we got this. We know there's only 2 of them. Let's go fight. You know, type of thing. It definitely helps you decide if you want to fight or not and where people are, if they're hiding somewhere. And then for their ultimate ability, it's a Z. So the ultimate abilities have like a charging time. As you can see here, theirs is already ready. Some legends take longer than others depending on what their ultimate ability is. Bloodhounds doesn't take too long. I think it's kind of like in the middle range of how long it takes compared to other legends. Lifelines takes kind of long. But let me go ahead and show you their ability. So when I hit Z here, there is a moment where you can't do anything because they're activating their ability. But as you can see here, they're so much faster when moving around. Their speed increases, all the enemies light up red, And if they were to be moving around, they'd be leaving like red footprints on the floor. So that is Bloodhound's ultimate ability. That is a reason why I highly recommend using them when you're first starting out in Apex. It's pretty simple, like, abilities. It's not anything too complicated. So here you can see now that the ultimate ability is charging on the middle bottom of the screen. You see it's at 22%, 23%. Let's also talk about meleeing and grenades. Now that we kind of talked about their abilities, so here we go, just to refresh. Q, I am scanning. Look, it even tells me 2 hostiles detected on the top screen. It lets you know how many. So in case you missed it on the screen, it will tell you how many you scanned, or if there's none at all. And then Z for the ultimate ability to move faster, see any enemies in the area, and the more you knock down your enemies, the longer your ultimate will last, which is pretty cool. Meleeing. So as I mentioned, melee is bound to F. And if it isn't bound to F, I recommend having it on F. So otherwise, if you don't have a weapon equipped, it is automatically bound to your left click button. So what it would be your fire button if you were to have a gun in your hand. So like, let me just pick up this Havoc here. So I'm right clicking to ADS, left clicking to shoot. Whereas if I had no guns equipped at all and it's just my fist, and when I click, I'm punching. You can either do F or click. But if I had a gun equipped, the only way I could punch this person with having a gun in my hand is to hit F. Otherwise, I'm just going to shoot them. So for grenades, I recommend putting your grenade button, like throw grenade, on your mouse. So let me show you here. Here we are. So equip grenade. That is what you want bound to your mouse. Otherwise, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's just G. So it originally is bound to G on your keyboard. So if you don't have a button on your mouse to, you know, bind this to, just put it on G. And then also I wanted to show you guys here a couple other key binds that should automatically be chosen to be there. So your inventory is tab, M for map. You can see they're automatically just toggle, and that's what you want. Attack is left mouse button click. So that is, you know, firing, using your gun or using your fist to punch someone. The right click mouse button is holding down sight, aim down sight. And you don't want that toggle, you want that holding. Like I said, one less thing to click. You don't want to have to click in and then click out. Just click and then let go. Okay, sorry, yeah. So melee is bound to F, as you can see. That, I think these brackets were from a different keyboard setup that I used to have. Just ignore that. I don't even need that there. Sorry. And then let's see here. So yeah, like I said, grenades on my mouse button. So let me show you guys grenade. Let me find a grenade to pick up. So as I go to pick up this grenade, you can see when you look at an item, and if they're all bunched together, the one that is highlighted up on the screen is going to be what you grab. You can see here that I can either hit E to pick it up, or I could ping it for teammates. So the ping button is automatically on your mouse wheel scroll. So you just click it to ping it. You're like, oh, there's a thermite grenade here in case anyone needs it. There's a gun that actually uses it to power it. Arc star here. Frag grenade here. Type of thing. So that's super cool. Also to the grenades. So I am going to pick up a thermite, pick up a frag, and pick up an arc star. And I am going to, if I hold down my grenade button, my equip grenade, it will bring me into this menu selection to pick what grenade I want to throw. So if I, you just move your mouse around here to select it. So if I hover over the thermite grenade, it will equip the thermite. And then fire, use the fire button, the left click button, to kind of direct where I want this grenade to be thrown. So I want to finish this guy off. He's full health. Oh well, he's gonna burn to the thermite grenade, and the thermite grenade will ignite in like a line when you throw it, and it'll ignite in a line on the floor. So it's a great way to like block people off, or to protect you and your teammates if you're trying to back up and heal. So I'm gonna go ahead and let go of my left click button, and you will see how it ignites in a line here, and it will burn this dude to death. So I love that grenade. I think the thermite grenade is my favorite grenade, because even if they just like run through it, they'll continue to burn for a little bit and continue to take damage, and then it'll like wear off. Whereas, you know, he just kind of stood there in the flames and he died. So let me go ahead and do the arc star now. So the arc star was already automatically equipped after I used my only thermite. So I am left clicking on my mouse button and then letting go. The arc star does damage upon sticking to the enemy. So it does damage when it sticks and then when it blows up, which is amazing. Or if I were to throw the arc star within range of the enemy, it will do damage as well, just not as much. So that first stick did 40 damage. Whereas that, obviously I'm not doing any damage, but I did 70 upon the explosion. And then the frag grenade doesn't stick to anything, obviously. It's just a raid roll blast. There we go. Finish him off. So the frag grenade's good for if you're trying to throw something in through like, you know, a window or something, you wanted to bounce around the room and get someone that's hiding in the room or down a hill or something. Arc Star is great if you're peeking corners with someone in a fight and you want to just like stick them real quick and then get back to cover. The Arc Star is great too because when it sticks the opponent, oh god, I totally missed. When it sticks the opponent, it slows them down, which is super awesome. And it definitely gives you an edge in like a 1v1 or a firefight that you're having. So if this person were to be trying to move around, they'd be like slow motion, like taking shock damage. Can't move as fast. And then, you know, once the explosion goes off, they're back to normal. All right, so that's pretty much the grenades. And then if you were to have a grenade equipped, and you want to go back to your gun, you just use your scroll wheel. I have mine set to scroll wheel down. That is for changing weapons. So let's see, I got the Hemi here, the Hemlock, and I scroll down, I will switch to the triple take. And then I scroll down again, switch right back to the Hemlock. I have my scroll wheel up set to move up. That is for tap strafing. That is not something I'm going to be getting into this video. I personally don't even do it that much in games. Something I'm still personally working on implementing, but you don't have to necessarily worry about moving or setting your keybind to move scroll wheel up. If you want to have weapon change set to both scroll wheel down and scroll up, that works great for you. And go ahead and do that. Let me show you guys the keybinds here. So here we are, cycle weapon, that's what it is. So I have it set to scroll wheel down. And then just to kind of show you guys, I know we're kind of deep into this video now, but all you have to do is click on this and then you would like scroll wheel down and then it bounds it. Alrighty, so I already touched base on sprinting. You just tap left shift. When you're moving forward with W, if you let go of W, you will not continue sprinting. You have to be moving forward and then tap shift, tap left shift. And then a good movement technique to implement is slide jumping. That's a very basic movement technique in Apex that everyone does constantly. So there's a lot of running and sprinting in Apex, and then if you slide and then jump, you'll notice you move a little faster than you do just sprinting, especially on a downward slope. So let me go up here. and just show this to you real quick. So I'm going to WQ forward, hit shift, and I'm gonna hold down my crouch button on my mouse and then spacebar jump. And you sprint it. You can do it on flat land too. Another little movement technique is using these zip lines to kind of like monkey swing, I guess you could say. Like you kind of like jump on it and then like launch off of it. So we'll go ahead and show you that right now. So we are going to run up this, slide, jump, and hit E and jump off. So let me do that again for you guys. You don't even need to slide before it. Yeah, sorry, I was making it complicated. How dare I? Okay, so you run up to the zip line, you hold down W, hit left shift, and you're gonna see when you hit the zip line, you automatically go up. You hit E to go on the zip line. Maybe I should have started with that. Okay. So as you can see, to use the zipline ride, you're gonna hit E, that interaction button. When you hit E, you automatically go all the way up. You can spin on these, which is ideal when someone is shooting at you, going up the zip line, or going down the zip line. You usually don't ever really go down zip lines, but you can just jump down. There's no fall damage in this game, by the way. There's no fall damage. That is also an important thing to note. So, if you are running places and, oh, how convenient, a zip line's right here. I'm gonna launch off this, get a little speed boost. You know, you can slide afterwards too. This is stuff you're just gonna have to play around with, honestly. Like, just go in the firing range and just mess around with all these buttons and movement. Kind of get used to how things are, honestly. So we're gonna run, jump, hit E, and then hit space to jump right back off of it instantly. You just tap E, tap space. That's pretty much all it is. Show it one more time. Jump, E, space. You get a nice little boost there. Okie dokie, so I think that is about everything that I wanted to show in the firing range. So if you guys want to see how all the guns shoot and what their damages are and see what their firing rates are, then go ahead and watch my next video that I have posted in this series, and I will go through all of those. But for now, we're just going to kind of continue on to some more in-game content. So we're gonna hit escape here and return back to the lobby, and we are going to join our first trios match. If you click on the box down here, we can now see the different game mode selections. So we are going to click on trios over here. Looks like the current map right here is Storm Point. This does rotate over time, every hour and a half or so, or 2 hours. Alright, so we're loading into our match now. I am going to be solo in a duo, so everyone is only going to be with 2 people like per team. Sorry, that was awkward for me to say. There's only 2 people per team. And I chose to not be with any teammates, that way I can better show you guys how to land, and I can show you how to loot and navigate the map a little bit easier. And then I will also show you how to use Bloodhound's abilities in-game. Alright, so as you're loading into the game here on the dropship, it will keep count of all the numbers of teams, and you can see the number going down because a lot of people are dropping already. This would definitely be considered a hot drop zone. So any landscapes or landmarks that are the first things that pop up onto the map that you're flying over tend to be hot drops because people just want to get out of the ship and just start fighting. Another zone that is typically a hot drop is the high tier zone. Am I blind? Oh, here. Storm capture. Yeah, there it is. So you'll see this blue beam here. That is a place where higher tier loot spawns. So people tend to want to drop there in hopes that they get better loot. But I don't want to drop with a bunch of people. Look, I am the last one in the drop ship. So I am going to just land over here and loot over here for you guys. So I hit E to launch. And then you want to hit W to dive down. See, if I don't hit W, I kind of soar through the air, like float. I'm kind of taking my time, whereas if I hit W and I point down with my mouse, I go down a lot faster. And you want to do that when you're diving down especially if there are other teams going to the same landmark that you're going to. That way you can be the first one there. You do not want to be the last one there and get left with no loot, and then you're gonna die because you don't have good loot. Alrighty. Oh, sorry. I just kind of started looting stuff. So, let's see here. I like I had mentioned before in the firing range, when you look at an item, you hit E to pick it up. And I didn't want that grenade, so I right-clicked it to get rid of it when I accessed my inventory, which was tab. So I am hitting, you know, of course, W to walk forward, and I hit left shift to sprint. Something that's cool about this map and the Olympus map, this is Storm Point. Storm Point and Olympus is they have these hover cars that allow you to get to and from places a lot faster, although someone can shoot the car and you will take damage. Let me go ahead and switch this shotgun out for the PK. If you want to pick up another gun and you already have one equipped, you have to hold down E in order to swap the weapon. Otherwise, just clicking E isn't going to do anything. They want to make sure that is what you want to do. So, I held down E to pick up the weapon. I'm going to swap out the Havoc here for the RE45. I want to make sure I got the right ammo for that gun. You will see that each gun, the type of gun it is, whether it's light or shotgun or heavy or sniper, they all have different colors, and their ammo will correspond with that. So in the bottom right, you see the RU45. This is a automatic pistol. It is orange because that is a light gun, so I need orange ammo in order to shoot with it. Same thing with the PK, the Peacekeeper shotgun. I need red shotgun shells in order to use that gun.
The ring is close.
So I am going, as you see here on the map, so I hit M to toggle the map open. You can see there is this ring here that is going to tell me that when the storm comes, the ring will come and close down on this area. This is the safe area. Any area outside of this will become a death zone that will deal damage to you over time. So, just like any battle royale, everyone will eventually congregate together as the ring shrinks and gets smaller and smaller as each round closes. Okay. So, as I'm moving into this landmark, you can see that these pills have all been opened and these doors are open. This has been looted already by a team, so hopefully they left some good stuff for me to use. Oh look, I have a purple shotgun bolt now. So you'll see that the attachments also have different colors, ranging of like from poor quality to better quality. So the lowest quality attachment is going to be white, and then it will then go blue, and then purple, and then gold, and gold is the best. And something else that is important to pick up in game are these heat shields. This is something that was more newly implemented in the game. I have my heat shields set for left control. So this is something that you do need to bind in game to what you prefer. I know that I had mentioned that if you do not have two mouse buttons or a mouse button on your mouse, then to keybind, sorry, I wanted to make sure someone wasn't launching over here. And then to keybind the crouch to left control. Then if you do that, then you got to figure out what button you want your heat shield to be on or your mobile respawn beacon to be on. You'll see right next to the grenades on the bottom right, the little heat shield down there. So this is something that you can use if you get caught in the storm and you need some protection for a little while for you to heal and then hopefully make it out. Or yeah, protect your you or your teammates while in the storm. Protect you from storm damage. So let me go ahead and hit left control here, that way you can see what this looks like. So you'll see that it kind of loads up, and then I can choose where I want to put it. And then I left mouse click, place it down. And as long as I am in this dome, it shows a lot better when you're in the storm than out of the storm. But you see this purple ray, like dome. As long as I am in this, I am safe from the ring. I guess as the ring comes in too, I can show you guys. Oh look, this is my favorite gun, Hemlock. So I'm going to hold E to replace this because this is my favorite gun in the world. I just would like to find a scope for it now. And I don't need this light ammo anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and drop both of those on the floor. Those aren't necessary. They're just taking up space at this point. I'm going to pick up all the ammo that I could possibly need if I were to get into a fight. And you want to make sure... Let me hit tab and let me show you. You want to make sure you have a good amount of shields and med kits and syringes and batteries. So... the difference between these is that a shield cell will heal like one chunk of your shield, if that makes sense. So like one chunk's worth. Whereas a battery, they probably didn't leave me any batteries over here, but a battery will fully charge your shield no matter what shield you have on. It will fully charge it for you. So same thing with the syringe. So the syringe will, see it heals 25 points worth of your health at a time. So it heals like a chunk of your health, and that is this lower bar here. This is your health, the top one is your shield. Whereas a medkit will heal 100% of your health no matter how much you have lost. And you see the ring is coming in now, and after this one closes, you see round 1 closing right underneath the mini map on the top left. It lets you know how long it's going to be until it's fully closed. And then round 2 ring will appear, and I will know where to head if I want to be safe from the ring. So we wait for that to happen. You see there's this orange line that shows me the direct, you know, the most direct path to the center of the ring. And let me go out into the ring here and show you how the heat shield works. So the round 2 ring doesn't do as much damage as like 3 and 4. You almost like insta-death in 4. So let me do left control here. And then place it down. And you'll see I have stopped taking damage now. So let me go back into the ring now. And I have my my like syringe and like shields, like healing, set to button 4. So if I hold down 4, it brings up this wheel similar to the grenade wheel that I can select what I want to use. So I only need 1 syringe worth of healing. So I'm going to go ahead and hover over that. That is already selected. I'm going to hit 4 to go ahead and heal myself. Or when you're in this, you can click on it. If you hover over it and then click with your left mouse button, it would also heal myself, but it says health already full. I'm gonna go ahead and slide down this mountain here by holding down my crouch button. Jump on the rock! There we go. You can jump while sliding. Alright. And then the best thing to do, honestly, is kind of what I'm doing if you're wanting to learn maps, is just solo queue in a duos and land by yourself and just learn your surroundings. That will give you an edge on your teammates and will help you feel more comfortable when fighting, because you'll know where to go. You'll learn what you can and cannot climb. So if I were to try and climb this, I can go ahead and reach that as a Bloodhound or any other character, honestly. But if I were to try to climb this, my character cannot climb that. You know what character could, though, is Revenant. Revenant could climb that because he has a passive that allows him to climb higher than other legends. Or if I had let's say Horizon or Valkyrie, those are mobility characters that would be able to get up onto that roof. But you have to learn your certain character's limitations. And as a Bloodhound, I am not able to climb that. And let's say you're in a firefight, you're trying to run from someone and you don't know that, and you try and climb up here and you're like, oh gosh, and then, you know, you fall down and you get shot and you die. Whereas right here, I can make that. I can get up there and then I can go up this way. It's just certain things like that that you learn about the game that helps you feel more comfortable and confident when you're playing, and so you don't get stuck on things and hung up on things, I should say, that limit you in your ability when in a fight. So let me see if I can find somewhere that will show Bloodhound's passive with the footprints. I think that is really interesting, and I should be able to show you guys this game. There's only 6 squads left, so it's going to come down to the last few squads here, and I'm probably going to need to fight. I haven't seen anyone yet in the game. Oh, I hear someone coming up. There's 2 of them. Let me go ahead and scan. I'm gonna chuck that grenade at that door so they have nothing to hide behind. If I were to try to climb that wall, I wouldn't be able to climb up it. I'm gonna hit Z to go into my ultimate accelerant. That way I can see the people. And my Q also comes up faster. Oh no, I'm dead. That's okay. But as you can see, when I was in the ultimate accelerant, my Q, I'm able to use more often, more frequently than when I'm out of my ultimate.
Knockdown shield here. Level.
Alright, so let me go ahead and do one more game for you guys, solo queue and duos, and just kind of refresh everything we've gone over, and I'll try and cover anything else that I didn't. And if you guys have any questions, obviously leave them in the comments on the video, or something that you would like me to go over, I can go over and make a video for you. Just let me know. I do not mind doing that at all. If there's something specific that you would like to learn more about. That's something else that you can do when you're jump master or when you're jumping out of the ship. Let's say you have someone AFK or something and you need to like jump by yourself. You can. If you hold down E, you can solo jump. Or if you're diving down and you guys want to split up amongst a couple buildings, that way you guys aren't all looting the same building, you can also hold down E to separate. That way, you know, you're not like, oh, I almost clicked Revenant. I'm sorry, Revenant's my main. Oh my god. I almost clicked Rev. We're doing Bloodhound. Okay. So we're gonna hot drop right over here. We're gonna hit E to launch, and we are holding down W to dive down, and I am moving my mouse button to direct where I want to go. So you can kind of go up and then dive down. If you're going far across the map, you want to build, you want to look up. That way you can travel farther. I'm gonna go here because no one else is going here. Let's see, we got a wingman. Yeah, I don't even like look directly down at things. As long as you're hovering over it just enough to pick it up, you pick it up as fast as you can, especially when there's other people around. Oh, look, an R99. I would rather have that. This is a very fast automatic light weapon. Good for close range. I'm not super comfortable with the wingman, but hey, you work with what you got. So, as you see, I'm slide jumping when I'm moving around. It makes me move a little bit faster. I'm going to Q on this building and see if there's anyone in here still. No one in here, but there's someone right out front. Let me see if I can get some shots on this guy. Cracked his shield. I helped them get that guy down. There's someone right here. Another team pulled up on me. Well, I knocked one of them, but there's another team that snuck up on me. And as you can see, when I was running into the building, there were red marks for like the door had been open, and you know, there were tracks letting me know like, hey, someone was just here. That's why I scanned it to see if anyone was still there. Another team rolled up behind me. It happens. Alrighty, so I think that's about everything that I have for my Apex Beginner's Guide. I hope, like I said, I hope you guys learn something. I hope this helps you, especially as a person that may be switching over from controller to keyboard and mouse. I hope I helped you out with the key bindings a little bit. I know it could be a little overwhelming, but just give yourself time and patience. You'll learn. It'll be fine, I promise. And you'll end up loving it. I loved it. I switched over to keyboard and mouse a few, like 4 years ago, I want to say 5 years ago. And I don't regret it one bit. It is so amazing. I love it. But anyway, so if you like this tutorial video on how to play Apex as a beginner, please like and subscribe. I'll be posting more to this series as well, kind of diving deeper into the nitty-gritty details about the guns and the legends, and then anything else that you guys would recommend. Please let me know, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for spending some time with me.